Good evening, everyone. If you can hear me, please signal that you can hear me on the comment sections. Signal that you can hear me. You're all welcome. Welcome, 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 welcome. Thank you for joining. Thank you for tuning in. Please, if you can hear me, please do well to signify. Do well to put down those comments. Do well to put down those comments. You're all welcome. Can you begin to tell me where you are joining the chat from? Where are you joining from? I am streaming from Abuja. Where are you streaming from? Where are you streaming from? I'm streaming from Abuja. Where are you streaming from? Introduce yourself, your name, and where you're streaming from. I'm so excited to have you all here today. I'm super, 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 super excited to have you all here today. So please do well. Okay, I can see Toyosi is streaming from Ibadan. Jane is streaming from Port Harcourt. Yes, you're all welcome. You're all welcome. You're all welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to today's orientation. Trust me, you're going to get the best from this orientation. You are just going to get the best. This is just like a setting ground or a setting stage. You're going to get the best from today. See, the truth is that if you miss this orientation, you've missed it, because you miss out the essence. You miss out the reason. You may not even finish if you miss out this orientation, because this is going to set you up. It's going to set the stage. It will set the stage. So I'm excited to have you all here today. I'm super, 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 super excited to have you all here today. Please do well to, share the link on your Telegram group. Do well to, let everyone know that we have started. Do well to share the link. Let everyone know that we have started. Our guest will be with us by exactly 8 o'clock. You don't want to keep him waiting. You do not want to keep him waiting. So please do well to, come prepared, show yourself. If you can hear me, let me know, please. All right, so you're all welcome. Before we kick off, we would like to do a brain teaser. A brain teaser. How many of us are ready for some little brain teaser, just to set the stage and to calm our nerves? Because I know that some of us, we are just super, super excited, hyper excited. Yes. So please, to set the stage, you're going to be doing some little game. It's going to just last for 2 minutes. It's going to last for 2 minutes. So I just want us to okay, our guest is already on the call with us. In 5 minutes, he'll be coming up on stage. So, but before that, we are going to play a little game, and you're going to complete the word. So the first one we are going to be doing is, it happens dash in a dash moon. It happens dash in a dash moon. It happens dash in a dash moon. If you know it, let's see the winner. Who will be the winner? Okay, so the next one I'm going to be taking is trying to kill dash, trying to kill dash with one stone. Once blue. Yes, congratulations. Then we have another one. It's raining dash and dash. 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 Okay. Okay, so I'm going to take the last one. Hit the dash on the dash. Cat and dog. Hit the dash on the dash. Hit the dash on the dash. Let's see. Okay. Nail. Yes, but it's not complete. Nail on the head. Yes, thank you so much. Now, before I go, I'm going to take this one that is, I don't know if I'll say it's Nigerian slogan. So anyone that is streaming from Nigeria will understand. Let the dash breathe. Don't dash them. 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 Let the poor breathe. Do not suffocate them. Awesome. It's so nice to have you all here. So please, our guest will be coming in like 3 minutes. In 3 minutes time, he'll be coming on stage. But before he comes on stage, I would like to um I would like to read a little profile. He said I should keep it brief. So I'll try. I'll try to keep it brief. So I'm going to read the profile, and so let me introduce an exceptional speaker. His name is Dr. Solomon Udochi. He's a PhD holder from the University of Edinburgh. I don't know if I got that right. He's currently an environmental scientist at the metals company, and he is currently using the skill of data analysis, to answer questions that are related to marine biodiversity and pollution. So he'll be here to set the stage. He'll be here to, inspire us. He'll be here to let us know um, those kind of, should I say, the ingredients or those things that we need. It's not just about getting the skill, but he'll be here to let us know all that we need aside from just the skill. He'll be sharing his journey also. I just want us to, take our time, listen, don't go anywhere. Just stay put, and you thank us today. Meanwhile, for any question that you have, because we are streaming on YouTube, if it was Google Meet, it would have been very easy for you to ask your question, like for you to voice your question. But because we are streaming on YouTube, we would only accept questions that are being typed. So we are going to be opening the question and answer session after he's done. We'll take like 5 minutes. And we have our manager here, community manager Oge. She's also on stage. And when the time comes, she'll be coming up to pick your questions and ask our guest. We also have our second speaker here too. I don't know, we are just so blessed. We are super blessed. The people we have here, they are so good. So with a clapping ovation, with an innovation, jumping ovation, whatever you want to do, just give your favorite emoji as we welcome Dr. Solomon Udochi.
That was a crazy introduction. Yeah, I'm not going to change the world or solve some gigantic problems, but I just hope I'm going to make some sense today. And I hope I can inspire, even if it's one person. So thank you very much for having me amongst you. And I think I should congratulate all of you for joining this wonderful program. I hope it will be a rewarding time. The speaker introduced me stupendously, let me put it like that. But just to correct one mistake, so my PhD wasn't actually from the University of Edinburgh, even though I worked at the University of Edinburgh as a postdoc.
Okay.
My PhD was from the University of East Anglia. But yeah,
Okay.
I guess the first question many people might be asking is, so what's an environmental scientist doing amongst all of you data gurus? And probably that would be the first takeaway. Some people would end up as pure data scientists, and I think Titi would speak a lot more on that. Working with either data firms or other companies or even research institutions doing pure data analysis, but others too would use their skills in data science, data analysis to answer other questions related to maybe your main subject area. So the skills you're using, you're gonna get from this training will be very relevant across board, regardless of whether you really want to be a data analyst. You could apply them, in your other fields. So thank you again for having me. I was able to make a few notes of what to speak about in the last few minutes. So I hope I keep the time as well. I've been asked to talk about my journey, what helped me stay consistent in my pursuit, how I've used opportunities in my career, and what I think you should know and how you should maximize opportunities. I think I'll probably start with the factors that have helped me stay consistent, and I'll talk about my journey afterwards. So if I remove factors beyond our control, because of course there'll be factors that are within your control, things you can sort out, and then there'll be factors outside your control. So luck, God, whatever you believe. But there'll be some factors like that. That give an example. I studied biology, animal and environmental biology at Abia State University, and I badly wanted to specialize in environmental science. But the way the specialty works in my university then, my course was that you get to do a project under one of the professors who's heading one of the specialties in the field you're interested in. And this was by luck, just a draw of lots. So they squeeze up some small pieces of paper, and then you pick, and whatever you pick, you go do your project on the person. And so by sheer luck, or by God's grace, really, I was able to pick this particular professor who was really the only professor in environmental biology that we had, and that started my journey. So had I picked another professor, for example, I'd probably be doing something else, or who knows. So there are factors like that that are beyond your control. But if we focus on the factors within our control, then I think there are certain things that stood out really, that helped me in my career. The first thing is the desire, right? So everyone I've seen who's succeeded in one field or another, they've been people who have very extreme, I think that's the word, extreme passion about what they wanted to do. So you think about CEOs, think about founders of companies, whether in Nigeria or abroad. Think about people who've excelled in some way, shape, or form. They've been people who are very, very, very passionate. They desire, and it's the desire that pushes you. So I suppose, for example, everyone here is really desirous of making a good career as a data analyst, or at least using the skills you learn in this course to better your lives. And that's why you're attending this course. But really, much more than that, your trainer would be taking you through different courses, and it's really the desire in you that make you go beyond what she's going to, or they are going to talk about. For example, it's the desire that would make you put the extra effort. It's the desire that make you go online, see if there are other courses that help you even perfect what you're going to learn in this course. It's that extra desire that you have that make you go seek out mentors, go online, seek out people who are already doing what you want to do in the fields you want to practice in, and then put that effort, introduce yourself to them. It's desire that help you develop yourself. Really, you have to. There's no way. I've not seen anyone, and really that's the way I check myself. So when I'm faced with a dilemma where I've got to choose between two things or two sets of opportunities, I ask myself, really, am I really passionate about this thing? I give myself examples of people who are already excelling in that particular field, and I ask myself, am I really as passionate as this person? Do I want this thing really, really badly? And I think as a starting point, except you want something so badly, it's really difficult to achieve it. And that leads me very smoothly into the next point. It's about going the extra mile. So of course you don't stop at your desire. You want to go the extra mile, right? You want to. So your teacher teaches you about maybe a particular application or software or programming skill. Then you really want to go beyond that. You want to go online, go search up, go read up. Find out more about what she's telling you. Find out how to apply them. In real world applications. Find out are there other people using them in other areas that your teacher didn't mention? Are there additional resources you could consult? Things like that. Don't underestimate any opportunity that you see or any knowledge. Of course, there'll be certain things you come across, and even if your teacher says that, oh yeah, this isn't too important for now, but if you want to go further, yes, you can look at this and these resources. Yes, it's good. For now, you probably want to then focus on what she asks you, or they ask you. He or she asks you to focus on. But there'll be other small opportunities here and there, small resources here and there that you can consult with your own additional effort, and that would help you. And the thing is, you never can tell which of the particular skills you've acquired, whether here or working on your own, would be helpful for you in a job interview or much later on when you're practicing in that big wonderful career of yours. And lastly, you've got to know your stuff, but even more profoundly, you've got to know your peers. So some of you might be thinking, oh well, my peers are my classmates here, or some of the people working in certain companies in Nigeria who I'd like to work with in the future, things like that. But yeah, that's okay. That's a foundational way of defining your peers. But I'd like you going into this course to broaden, your mindset. Your peers are not really only these people you see or people you're going to encounter. Your peers are actually the top professionals, working for the best of institutions all over the world, wherever they are, doing what you want to do. And the moment you're able to broaden your mind to think about your peers as those set of people, then you'd want to apply yourself very well in whatever you're being taught, or even whatever outside within the remit, but outside what you probably even will be taught in the course, to make sure that you are matching your peers. So, for example, if you want to be a software engineer, uh, go on LinkedIn, look up the best senior software engineers working for Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, wherever the top companies. Look at them, see their profile, see what they've done, see their trajectory, you know, go to their forums or fora, see how they interact, see what they're studying. Those are your peers. Be like them. Get yourself to a level where you can match them, as they say in Nigeria, aura for aura, ability for ability. Those are actually your peers, and you should broaden your horizon as you go into this course. You want to be a data analyst or data scientist, whatever you want to do. What are the underpinning skill sets that you need to have? Go out, look out for the people who are doing the very best, working for the very best companies in those places. See what they know, see how they're doing it, and try to push yourself to get to their level. And the moment you begin to see those people, so the very best of people in the world, as your peers, as people you have to match, then you begin to understand the level you need to get to. You begin to understand the opportunities as well that are open for you. Because if your abilities match the very best in the field, then of course you get opportunities that the very best in the field can get. And you see yourself thriving. But for a start, you need to broaden your horizon to know that the people that I'm actually trying to be like are not necessarily the wonderful people you have around, in the class, or the people you see or you have seen, but the people doing the very best in the very best of places. And I promise you, if you begin to see yourself like that and you begin to put the effort, interact with these people, go to their forums, learn what they're learning, and really apply yourself to your studies, then you'd find yourself doing well. And I hope that even those things beyond your control would begin to also fall in place in line with the effort and the dedication and the desire really that you put into making the best of your training. So I think that's the best way to start up, and really that sums up my story. As I said earlier, I studied biology, animal and environmental biology, and I studying the course, I really thought, I'd be an environmental science or environmental scientist, or a HSC specialist, and I'd probably go work for one of the oil companies in Nigeria. Really, that was my big dream, and I was working so hard. I was lucky I did quite well in school, and I got a scholarship. And when I was to do my master's, I got a scholarship that really limited me in funds. So I needed an additional scholarship from the university to 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 qualify, really. Otherwise, I'd have had to pay, or my dad would have had to pay some more money. And so I had to choose in an instant. I had to choose a course and a university, and the consultant really just brought out different courses and different universities and said, "You give me your answer right now." But of course, again, not overlooking opportunities. I remember in my NYSC, I had gone for one of these HSC trainings. And I did that training, and I thought, oh my God, if this is what HSC is about, then I don't want to do HSC because it's really boring for me. So even though from that course, I didn't really benefit much or learn much about HSC, but I knew from that course, from doing that course, that HSC is really not for me. So I was able to, in that instant, rule out HSC, and I decided to go for a course in environmental assessment and management. Also, during my bachelor's, we did statistics. Now, statistics isn't a very fundamental component of biology, especially at the BSc level, if you think about it. And so even though I think it had the highest units, 4 units courses, both of them were 4-unit courses. It was one of those courses they say to you, oh, it's fine, just do it, pass. And in your final year, you can always engage someone to help you analyze your results. But I kind of loved it, and I applied myself to it. And I ended up fascinated by statistics. I was already using Excel. We could, do certain, and although basic analysis, correlation, regression, that sort of thing, ANOVA, but we're doing it and we were happy with it. And I thought, oh my God, I've even arrived. I've learned certain things, and I can use Excel. I can, I don't need to work out my correlations on paper. But then I went for my master's, and I saw that lots of people were even using more. They were using SPSS, and that was like the in thing. People using SPS, and I thought, nah, I have to learn this SPSS. So in addition to nobody pushed me. There was no SPSS course or anything. But I resolved that I really have to. I have to measure up, so I have to learn SPSS. And within a short while, I was using SPSS, doing even more advanced. So logistic regressions, for example, which you probably would learn about at some point. More advanced ANOVA, things like that, analyzing data sets, but data sets for science, really, to answer questions that were related to either my projects or assignments and things like that. Even if we need to plot, I'd like to make sure my visualization is really good. My figures are nice. Just doing it really as a hardworking student. And then I got on to a PhD program, and I saw that now SPSS is dead. So most of the people here are programming. They're using R, they're using more advanced visualization, learning even deeper statistics. And, same thing. I have to, of course. Nobody forced me. There was no course. I told my supervisor, no, I want to go for a training in R. I want to do this extra training course. I want to do that. And really, that was it, pushing myself, learning at this time. I got to advanced level in R and a bit of Python as well. Trying to make sure I can use all the libraries, trying to, reading deeper into really advanced statistical methodologies, and so forth. And in fact, one pertinent example. So I went into my PhD program as an environmental biologist trying to do ecotoxicology, but I found out that you can't do ecotox without chemistry. And really, my main chemistry background was really secondary school. I did some in university, but really also O/A level chemistry. But I had to get there if I wanted to really do a good PhD. So there was I studying chemistry textbook, doing geochemistry. And at first I was looking at myself, how would I even understand this thing? This is PhD level geochemistry, advanced geochemistry, analytical chemistry. But I had to. And this was really, I think these are the fundamental principles of my journey. Looking at things you really need to do, comparing to your actual peers, weighing yourself up with your actual peers and seeing how you need to level up and pushing yourself, even though some of these skills might seem outside your current remit, but you really need to push yourself. You need to apply yourself. And guess what? My first job after the PhD was a postdoc at the University of Edinburgh. I wasn't working in the Department of Biology. No, I was employed in the Department of Geoscience. So here I am, this guy with a biology background, employed in the Department of Geoscience. And employed because I could use my skills in biology, but also my skills in geochemistry. And additional advantage, I could analyze all the data sets they wanted. They had, they didn't need to consult an extra statistical person. My visualizations were good. My statistics was good. And these were really things that were not primary to the course, I went to study. It wasn't biology, necessarily biology. And I've probably had to use less and less biology until maybe my current role. But even in my current role, I left the University of Edinburgh to move to Canada. To be a lot closer to my family who are here. And I joined this company. It's a very important company, actually. We're mining or prospecting in the deep sea, so that we can get resources for making batteries and renewable energy. So why did they employ me? Well, first, because I had very good background in marine biology, of course. My PhD was about marine pollution and environmental science, but also they had data. So in every field you find yourself, you're analyzing data, you're analyzing large, complex data sets, and they need people who can do that. They needed someone with good chemistry background because you need to understand, the kinetics of metals in the sediment. So again, extra skills that I picked up from other aspects of my endeavors are coming into play. And really, I think that's the message. That sums the message, I have for you. Prepare. You've got to prepare, knock at the door, pursue all the opportunities, know your peers, know the people you're matching yourself with, the best of people, wherever they are in the world. Find them, see what they see, interact with them and know where you need to measure up. There are opportunities everywhere, but not necessarily in your small local niches. There are global opportunities there. You just need to widen the horizon and see what the best of people are doing. Follow them there. And lastly, I know this is a women gathering. You're all women. It's called DG Girls, but you're no different from men. So this, what I just explained, doesn't necessarily apply to men, or it applies to everyone. So whether don't think because you're a woman, you have fewer opportunities, or some things are beyond your reach because you're a woman, or maybe because some of you are married with kids, things like that. No. Just keep pushing, and I wish you the very best. And I'm here to answer questions. Both questions I can take here, but you can, send me questions via email, LinkedIn, whatever. I try my best to reach out. So thank you very much. Thank you for your time. I hope you've learned one thing or two from from my story, and I look forward to answering your questions.
Can we just put our hands together? Like, are there people in the house that are clapping? Are there people in the house that are clapping? Okay, so our guest speaker is done. Dr. Solomon is done. But we'd like to take some questions. It's going to last for 5 minutes. But the thing is, we will not be able to take up all the questions that you want to ask. So what we are going to be doing is we will compile your questions and we'll send it to Dr. Solomon via his email. I hope you don't mind, sir, if we send you questions. Yes. So once he answers those questions, it will be I would drop it on the Telegram group, our community group, so that your questions will be answered. But we are trying to work with time so that we don't keep you here more than you're supposed to. So with that, I'm going to be bringing Ogechi on stage. She's going to be taking just 5 minutes because our second speaker, Titi, is here and we don't want to keep her waiting also. So Oge, are you ready?
Okay, good evening, everyone. Good evening. Yes, I am here. I am ready. So far, there are no questions for Dr. Udochi Solomon.
Okay, please, if you have questions, you can start asking your questions. We just have few minutes to go. If you have questions, or we are all satisfied with what he has said. Are we all satisfied? Okay.
I think there's a lag as well, so I can see that some people are just typing. So it looks like some people are just done with
Yes.
listening
Yes.
to what I said.
It takes like few seconds. Like we're on a streaming platform, and it takes like few seconds before you get to YouTube. Okay, someone is asking, I studied psychology. Is that a question? Peace Ebong. Okay. Okay, someone is asking, do we need to know chemistry? I'll give it up to Oge to take it up from here. There are questions already coming up. So she's on the YouTube. She's on the YouTube. She's streaming on the YouTube also. So she's picking up the question and she'll be asking you the questions. Yeah.
I actually see, so I see two questions here so far. One, whether you need to know chemistry, and another that studied psychology. I'll probably take both of them at once. So I think, in fact, the best response would be from the second speaker because, correct me if I'm wrong, she actually studied French and now she's a data analyst. So and I studied biology and I did some chemistry. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter actually what your background is. No, not at all. The opportunities are agnostic of your background. I think what people care about and ultimately what will benefit you in your career is what you know about what you want to do. So you want to get into a job as a data analyst. Nobody cares what your background was, but I think everybody would care about what you can do. So do you know your data? Can you analyze data? What's your statistical competency? Can you code? Can you program? Do you use R? Do you use Python? That sort of thing. I think so. People would only be interested really in what you can do, not necessarily what your background is.
Okay, so there's another question here for you, sir. Adesayo is asking, is there any point in time you feel like giving up?
Of course, of course, I mean, I've made it sound easy, but of course, there were very, very tough times. There were times I was alone in the lab, crying, asking myself, who sent me message? I wanted to go and partner. Me say I go carry this, carry that on top of my head. So how would I cope? There'll be times like that, and I think everyone experiences such times. It's really about again your resolve to want to make it. You see other people giving up as well. beside you, and that gets you scared. But ultimately, it's about um, your resolve, and your God. If you're close to God, then those are moments where you can then pray and ask for even more strength to push through. But yes, you'd face challenges regardless of your career.
Okay, thank you very much, sir, for that. From Peace Ibong, I studied psychology. What are my chances to get better at data analytics?
I think the second speaker would answer a lot of the specifics, but again, like I said, it doesn't matter what your background is. You just really have to apply yourself. Starting with the course, you're going to be trained. I think this course would give you foundational training, but then, as I said, push through, go online, look for more resources, go on YouTube, learn, go see what the very best are doing. Try to do that. Try to measure up, and you'd find yourself making incredible progress. So again, it doesn't matter what your background is, just apply yourself to this course, and also seek further guidance and resources, and you'd be fine.
Okay, there's a question again from Oyeyemi. What do you advise about finding where one fits in?
Yes, sometimes it's not straightforward. As I said, for example, I wanted to do HSC, and I was torn between doing HSC or maybe core environmental science. Even in the course, I was torn between doing environmental science, so the analytical part, or environmental management. um I think first of all, there's the gut feeling. So you get exposed to a variety of areas, and then you get the gut feeling for what you like and what you don't like. But ultimately, I think there's also the strategic thinking aspect. So I suppose many of you are getting into data analysis, for example, because you see that there are big opportunities. Really, it's the future. The future is tech, and tech is now. And now I think really that's the slogan of TT's workplace. But she'll talk to you about more specifics. I think it's a combination of what you're interested in, but also really strategic thinking, trying to position yourselves for opportunities now and in the future. And not everything would interest you, not everything will be fun, but there are certain things you really have to do. You have to grind through for you to succeed in your chosen career.
Okay, thank you very much for that. The This will be the last question from Gift Steady. She said,
Okay.
"How does data analysis improve businesses?"
That's I think that'll be covered in the course, but very straightforward. Your business, you need to work out which of your products are selling better. You need to work out what your customer preferences are. You need to work out what your competitors are doing. So you really need to work with data. Every piece of data helps you to better position yourself for the market. So yes, almost all businesses, if not all, would need to analyze data, consumer data, and different aspects. But I think that'll be covered in the course. So stay tuned,
Yeah.
and you learn very much about that.
Okay, thank you so much. We are really happy, and thank you so much for honoring our invite. We really appreciate. Please, I know that this is virtual, but can we do one poser? Can we just give two poser for Dr. Solomon Udochi? Let's show our love to him. Let's show our love to him. Give him some love emoji. He's a married man, no, so but we can just show our love emoji. Let's also do well to comment, and those things that really stood out for you. Like, I took few points that maybe later on I'll be summarizing, but those things that he had said that really stood. Someone said your speech was well articulated, very clear and impactful. So please just do well to put down those things that that you had really benefited from this is talk. Because of our time, we are going to be like going to the next segment. Thank you so much, Mr. Solomon. We really, really appreciate your coming. We do well to. There are some questions here that would compile and still send to you.
No
I
problem.
think there are
No
some
problem.
questions that we are not answered, so we'll compile them and then we'll send it to you through your email address. Okay, so another thing too is that you can connect with him on LinkedIn. I hope you don't mind, Dr. Solomon. You can connect with him on LinkedIn.
Yeah, that's
Hello.
fine. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, you can connect with him on LinkedIn. Solomon Udochi on LinkedIn. Connect with him. If you want to send him an email, I'm going to drop his email. Do I need to?
You probably don't need to do that. They can contact
Okay,
me,
okay, okay. I can just
or
take in
contact
the.
me
I can
directly.
just take.
Yeah.
Yes, so I can just take in all the questions that you need, that you want him to answer, and we promise that he has already given his word that he'll be answering them and he'll be bringing them, and I'll be dropping them on our community platform. With that, we'll have to say good night. I don't know what the time is where you are, but good
Thank you.
night,
It's
Dr.
afternoon, but
Solomon.
thank you. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you so much.
Bye.
Yeah, bye. Okay. Sorry, we've eaten into our time. We have our next guest. She's already here. She has been here for for almost 10 minutes, or if not more. I just don't want to say so much, but I am so happy, to have her here. I'm going to be doing a little introduction of who she is, and I just want us to stay glued, because if you feel the first speaker was giving you hot, you're just not ready for the second. They say that there's something called the bottom soup. Is it bottom soup? Yes, there's something called the bottom pot. So she's here to give you the bottom pot, because she's a data analyst. So let me introduce her quickly. Give me a few minutes. Okay. All right, so our second guest, her name is Titilayo Oladunjoye. She's a data analyst. Ma, I hope I pronounce your name well. I'm sorry if I'm very, very sorry if I don't pronounce your name very well. Her name is Titilayo Oladunjoye. She's a data analyst, a business analyst, and she's a bilingual. She's a training and operation analyst at Datalium, one of the top leading data institutes. If I'm not, if I like, I think they are into data ed and everything data. So even after the class, if you want more, if you want to know more, if you want to get to advance, because what we are doing here is basic to intermediate. So if you want to get to advance, you can also reach out to her. I don't want to waste our time too much, but she has been doing so much, like in the field of data. She's passionate about operational excellence, and she's also passionate about working with data, interpreting it, and diving deep to uncover the insights that drive decision making. So with a clapping ovation, can we just put our heads together, our hands together, as we welcome our beautiful guest. Okay, so fun fact, this is not my first time knowing her. I've known her even before now, even though we've not met physically. So I don't know, she's someone that God has really blessed me with, and I am so, so glad that she honored our invite. People should just stay tuned, because you are in for something great. You are in for something great. You are in for something great. Welcome, ma.
Thank you so much. If I can share my screen, but I don't want to take so much of our time, right? So I want to be very patient, and I would just so I've been trying to see if I can share my screen, right? Please, can I share my screen? I can, right?
Yes, ma, you can. You can. If you're logged
Okay.
in with a laptop, it will be easier
I
for
am.
you.
I am.
Okay,
Okay.
yeah.
I think
There's a
I'm
place
seeing it.
sentence. Have you seen
Right.
it? Okay.
Okay. Yes. Can you see my screen? So can you see my screen? I'm trying not to. Okay. Okay. Thank you so much.
We are seeing it. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you so much. Wow. I'm so happy to be here. Super excited, right? I am, like she said, we have a lot going on between us, right? But I would just, let's leave that for later, right? So please kindly confirm again in the chat box that you all can see my screen. I'm trying to join with another device so that I can get feedback from everyone. Okay, sorry. Okay. All right. Thank you so much once again, everybody. Thank you so much for having me. All right. So today we're speaking about building a career in data analysis, roadmap to success. I'm excited about talking on this because this journey is a very peculiar journey for me. A very peculiar journey for me because I never saw myself doing data analytics, numbers. Fun fact: I don't like numbers. When I mean numbers, okay, I like money numbers though, but I don't like numbers in that aspect, like calculation, mathematics. I'm not interested. All right. But I realized that, you know, going through in life, you can get to a point where you need to begin to open yourself up to different opportunities, right? So I would continue. I would continue then. So now get to know me. Please, if you can't hear me, if there's anything, you can just let me know in the comments because I had to join with another device so I can see your comments as I teach. All right. Okay, so get to know me better. My name is Titilayo Oladunjoye. Oladunjoye, like she pronounced my name. Yeah, she tried. My name is Titilayo Oladunjoye. I am a data analyst with over 2 years of experience, and I currently work as a training and development associate. I graduated from Obafemi Awolowo University with a degree in French language. So I am also a proud francophone. I can see some comments. I'm trying to see if I am doing the right thing. Okay, right. Okay, so I'm a francophone. I enjoy speaking French. I can speak French, right? I can speak French very well, right? And going into data analytics was an amazing thing. Yes, of the greatest if. All right, so going to data analytics was an amazing thing for me, right? So another thing about me is in my current role, I oversee our data analytics training programs. Yes, we have other people doing that, but I'm also one of the people overseeing data analytics training programs. I create and present reports for both internal and external stakeholders. So I also do some kind of project management, overseeing projects, right? I analyze and evaluate feedback to continue to drive continuous improvement. I also facilitate training sessions at different levels, right? So from my screen here, I can see that people are not seeing full screen, and I am really concerned.
Yes, ma. It's
Can we
it's
see?
not. They are seeing the screen, but it's not like you're not presenting yet. Like it's not in the
I have been
view.
okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay. I've been trying to do that. How is it now?
Uh, we are still seeing it the way it was.
Okay. I'm so sorry. Should I just do without the screen? Let me just go without
Oma, the
presenting
screen
my
will be
screen.
better. The screen will be fine.
Okay. Yes.
Another thing too is if you can send it to me. I don't know if it's
Okay.
possible.
Okay. Let me do
Or
that.
consume time. Yeah, let's see which one works.
Let me do that.
Okay.
I'm so sorry for the delay, everybody. I I have been trying to set this up, right? So please permit me. I will give her. Then I will continue talking without my screen. So if she can present the screen on my behalf, right? So I will stop screen sharing, right? Um, I want to be sure my network is still good. Yes, my screen is not in the
It's coming
presentation
up,
mode, and I'm
ma.
so sorry about that, everybody.
Yeah, it's coming up. It's coming up.
Okay, 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 okay. Have limited time. I have a lot to talk about and presentations. Okay, so as I was talking, I think that I will just leave the screen sharing to her to see what she can do about it while I continue. All right, so like I said, I create and present reports to for both internal and external stakeholders, right? Analyze and evaluate feedbacks to drive continuous improvement. As a data analyst, that's what you're going to be doing. Evaluation, analysis, digging deep into your data. So when you gather data, you want to know what you want to get insight from the data, right? And I also facilitate training sessions at different levels. So sometimes in-house do training sessions, and that's one thing about my organization, which I am grateful for the opportunity to always, the opportunity to always show your screen and show your skills and all. And then beyond my work, I enjoy speaking French. That's one of my hobbies. I enjoy speaking French, planning, managing events, analyzing data, of course. Reading, I enjoy reading. I'm excited to share my journey with you and discuss, how we can build a successful career in data analytics. Yeah. So that's that. So let me talk about my journey into data analytics, right? Like I said, I never thought I would be in data analytics at all. I never ever thought I'd be in data analytics at all, right? But you know, how do I say it in a very nice way, right? So when you are applying for jobs over and over and over, you are trying to maybe do some things and it's not opening up. You begin to look within, you begin to look at yourself. What can I do? How can I help myself? And I've been hearing about data analytics, but me, I'm not interested in it, right? I told myself I'm not interested in it, right? But at some point, I had to start opening my mind up to the fact that okay, I might want to learn, but I still held back myself because I thought it's not something I really, really want to do, right? But my journey started in 2022. In 2022, precisely June 16th, 2022, I applied for a customer success role as an intern, right? Customer success, I mean, it's just, I feel like, okay, I'll just sit in front of a table, attend to clients. I think, Ioma, you can stop sharing the screen, right? You can stop sharing the screen. Let's leave it. Let's stop sharing the screen. Right. So I was telling myself that okay, I'm going to sit down behind the table, attend to customers, and that'll be that. Right. Then I applied. Then when I applied, I was called for the interview. I was still telling myself that it's just customer success. So that's gonna tell you that I can smile, I can attend to customers, we're fine. Right. And after the interview, they reached out to me that so we think that the organizational person that okay, we think that you're best fit for operations. we are best fit for operations. And I was like, okay. I'm open. At that time, I needed a job also. I was desperate to get a job, right? I mean, you finish from school, 2 years later, no job. You begin to feel like I need to do something, right? So I was like, okay, no problem. Operations, no problem. Should be, and I checked about operations. Okay, operations, maybe planning something, managing something. And I really like managing. I really like planning. So I was cool with it. And from there, that was how I got introduced to the data world. I mean, I wish I could share my screen. I would show you my first dashboard. You would be surprised. My first dashboard was, it's not presentable at all, right? I got introduced into the data world. And I was telling myself, can I? Sometimes I would be up all through the night asking myself, what was I thinking that I can do data analytics? This is not what I signed up for. I signed up for customer success, right? But yes, what I want to say at this point. Because you transitioned or you are trying your career path doesn't make you a failure. Can you hear me? Please tell yourself that. Don't think that you have tried this one, you have tried that one, you have tried that one. Somebody's telling you that. Don't ever put that into your head. Yeah, you are on a journey to self-discovery, and that journey requires that you discover yourself every time. You are discovering yourself every time. I would have loved data if I did not try it. And for 1 year, and I think for over a year, I think for 6 months, or for 1 year and 6 months, or almost 2 years, I could not speak. I could not tell anybody that I was a data analyst. I could not even talk about data because I felt like, what do I know? Me, I studied French. What am I thinking? Right. But I've put myself in this skill. I'm beginning to practice. I'm doing the job. But deep down, I kept feeling like they will say, she studied French. What's she looking for in data analytics? I'm going to tell you once again, because you're trying your career path, because you're transitioning, does not make you a failure. You are on a journey to discovering yourself. And I mean, you can try different things. You can know about different things. And later on, maybe specialize in one or bring passion into it, right? But you are not a failure. All right, so funny story, I can't share my first dashboard. I'm so sorry about that. But that's how I got introduced to the data world. Yes, that's how I got introduced into the data world. And it was not easy. Let me tell you the truth. It was not easy because, first and foremost, my mind kept telling me I cannot, because I do not even know mathematics very well. I cannot do statistics and all this numbers thing. I studied French. What's the relationship with French and data? What am I going to use data analytics to do? So I was like, let me just do my job and leave. But over time, I developed passion in it. I began to love numbers. I was excited about the fact that I felt like I was a doctor. I am prescribing drugs. I'm prescribing drugs for patients. So you come to me, I get your data, I get your company's data, and I can tell you what is happening in your company, what caused it, and also what would likely happen. I mean, I felt like don't you see yourself? I mean, don't you see yourself like, wow, I'm going to be the one. I'm going to be the one prescribing. I'm going to be the one teaching, telling you about your business. Even though you have been there before, you are the one that started the business. I felt like an FBI. I started doing investigation. And so my quest for analyzing data increased. When I saw data sets, I want to analyze it. And one thing is that I became curious. So when I see data sets, I go online. I type about that data set. So has anybody worked on it before? When I check it, nobody has worked on it before, or somebody has worked on it. I check what they did. I'll be like, okay, what can I do better than what they did here? What can I do better? What can I change? What insights can I derive? After I'm done with the report, when I'm done creating the report, I ask myself again, am I done? I feel like there's still something more I can find out from this data, right? And I began to work on sentiment analysis, churn analysis, different kind of analysis, and I became more interested. It became more interesting, right? And my passion for French did not stop. I'm still a proud francophone, right? So I want to just put it out there that, of course, data analytics is very important now because data is the new oil, right? Data is the new oil. Everybody, every business, every organization, years to come, even from now and in the nearest future, 2-3 years from now, would require any employee they want to employ, they would require that the person has a data analytics skills. That's the truth. Years from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, you would see that even if you studied Greek, they would ask you, do you have a data analytics skill? So you are not wasting your time being here, right? You're not wasting your time being here. All right, so I've shared a lot of things about how I transition into data analytics. Practicing, my God, practicing, putting yourself out there. All right, so I want to point out some things, right? How is going now? How is data analytics going now for me? Right? After I broke out of my shell, I told myself, I'm an analyst and a francophone. So what's there? Right? I broke out of my shell. I began to see myself as not just a data analyst, a teacher. I began to see myself as a consultant. I began to see myself as someone that is a professional. I'm a professional data analyst. I'm a professional. I began to build my confidence, right? And I've seen what it means to experience growth firsthand as a data analyst. Yes, I've worked on different reports across different sectors. Let me tell you something. I even worked on a report for my pastor. That's to tell you that you are not limited. Even if you are in a spiritual, you are a pastor, you are somebody working in a church or something. You can work on a report on the attendance of the church. You can work on you can work on different things. Being a pastor, right? That's if you're a pastor. That's on a lighter note. But I worked on his Instagram account. I gathered data on his Instagram account and how his messages, are thriving. That was my first official report without any help, alone, right? And I've expanded my mind across different data sets, right? And one of the things that as this has brought to me is that I got an unexpected win at some point. I was recognized as a top voice in data analytics on LinkedIn. I wish I'm sharing my screen, Sha. And on as a top voice on data on LinkedIn. Yes, I also was featured in a blog post transitioning from a non-tech role to a tech role, and all these recognitions begin to fuel my desire to growth, to learn more, to be better at what I'm doing, right? So at the end of the day, growth is not stopping. It's a continuous process, right? It's a continuous process. Wherever you are starting from, either you have an idea in French, an idea in data analytics, you have an idea in numbers, statistics. If you don't even have any idea on data or on numbers or whatever, you've not even used a computer before. Let me even go to the basics. You don't even know how to use a computer. You can start from somewhere. Growth is a journey. It's a process, right? And what can you do to stay consistent? How can you continue to show up there? How can you always, put yourself out there? You don't get weary or tired out. Like I said in the first place, you are not a failure. The first thing is continuous learning. I am still learning. I have done quite a number of things in data analytics, but let me tell you the truth. I am still learning. Whenever I work on a data set, whenever I see data sets, I still go online to watch YouTube videos. I still go online to watch YouTube videos. I make research. How can I do this sentiment analysis? How can I do this? And that's why I sometimes I see how people abuse AI for some funny things. There's some things that you can use AI for, right? Come up with questions, right? And put the human touch in it. Not that you take everything to AI and AI finishes it for you. I mean, you would always know that there's no human touch in this, right? But keep learning. Don't stop learning. Don't get to a point. I don't want you to think at any point that I don't want to think at any point that am I going to arrive at mastery? Even when you arrive at mastery, you are still learning in mastery. because Excel is updating every time. Power BI is updated every time. Tableau is updated every time. You see all your Python tools, Anaconda, everything, they are updated every time. SQL databases, they are updated every time. So you cannot stop. If you stop, you are going to become stale and outdated. So you have to continue learning. Now, build practical experiences. Like I said before, I am always learning. And as I'm learning, I am putting forth what I'm learning. I'm putting out what I'm learning. So if I see something about data set, I see a report, maybe a dashboard I like, I look for data sets to recreate it. Whatever I've learned there, I do, and I would make sure that I find a way to put it to practice. Build practical experiences, work on reports. And if you go to Forage, I think I think that I don't know how the structure of this training would be, but there are a lot of projects you can work on. If you go to Kaggle, if you go to Forage and look for all this PwC data project, you would see a lot of data projects that you would work on, and they will give you certifications, right? So build practical experience. Don't just tell us that you are a data analyst. Show us that you are a data analyst. Work on reports. Don't say until they employ me, then when they employ me, I'm not sure I'm a data analyst. No. So you don't have a skill in data analytics. Let me paint a scenario for you. So here is Titilayo. She has learned data analytics. She's done. She has not worked on any reports before. And then she's applying for an internship role. And they're like, okay, what can you do? Then you say, okay, give me a data set, I will show you. No. People would pick someone that has reports they have worked on, even if it's just job simulations, over someone that is saying, I'm skilled, I have 10 over 10 experience, right? We want to see what you can do. It's data analytics. You have to show what you can do. Build portfolios. And how can you do that? Practical experiences. Build portfolio, work on reports, share it out, show people that this is what you can do. Create reports. Learn how to give recommendations to businesses. Learn how to build reports. Learn how to share insights. People will give you feedbacks. But how can you get feedbacks if you don't show what you can do? And another thing I want to talk about is networking and mentorship. I know that some of us can say, I'm shy, I'm not sure I can do this, I'm not sure what I did is bold, you know. You need to go on LinkedIn and see different kind of dashboards. If I show you my first dashboards, hey, you will laugh at me. The color, I don't even understand what's happening with the colors there. You know when you're working on a report, you want to work with the color team. You want to work with color, building a right visualization, right data visualization. You want to work on a color team. You want to pick the color team for whatever project you are working on. So it's very important that you do what? You build experience. You work. You network, right, to people. So if you say I cannot show myself, how would they correct you? If you go to my LinkedIn page, you would see people giving me feedback. So I know that I'm still learning. So networking would help you to expand your horizon. You meet people that are looking up to, and you also meet people that you are on the same level with. And then mentorship. Reach out to people that are doing what you are doing and are doing it better. You want to be very good as a data analyst. You want to be good in Power Query, in analysis, in data cleaning. Reach out to people that are doing what you're doing. Follow them. Don't say, I finished for this person, or what does this person know? Follow them and learn from them. You know what you are after. It's not about whether they finish school before you or something. You know what you want to learn, right? So you need to network and get mentors. Get mentors. If it's someone that is in the same level with you and the person is good and the person has gone before you, you should not now tell yourself that we're on the same level, so I don't want this person to. No. Mentors, learn. You want to learn. That's what's important, right? So networking and mentorship are things that will make you stay consistent. If you don't put these things to practice, if you don't do these things, you'd realize that you will just lose interest because you're not showing up every time, right? So it's very important that you show up, you practice, you build your portfolio, you network, you mentor, Follow top industry leaders in data analytics. If it's Python you are interested in, follow top industry leaders. And I want to speak to LinkedIn at this point. Right, I think my time is almost up. Please let me know if my time is up. I'm trying to look at different places so I can get information clearly.
Okay,
So let me
ma,
know when
you
my
can
time
go
is up.
on.
All right,
Yes.
thank you.
Yes, ma.
All right. So LinkedIn is a social network for platform for professionals. LinkedIn is not Instagram. LinkedIn is not TikTok. LinkedIn is not Facebook. It is where you are building your brand. And now you are not a brand influencer for anybody but yourself at this point. So if you want to build a brand as a data analyst on LinkedIn, right, you have to put in the work, right? It is crucial to build credibility. If I want to trust you with projects, it is crucial for you to build credibility, for me to see what you can do. Track record, I have to see what you can do. You need to build network, build your network, right? Follow people, connect to different people. These things will open you up to different opportunities. I mean, at the end of the day, why we are all here is because we want to, get better opportunities, right? So take out time to look at yourself. What are my personal goals? What are the things that drive me? What is my passion? Align it to your skill, right? Align it to your skill so that you can build an authentic brand across your socials. Even though Instagram is not a professional place, at some point people will go and check your Instagram. Surely they want to employ you. This is that they do a lot of background checks, right? But that's for personal branding. So you want to portray a true image of yourself, right? Both physically and virtually. So one of the person I want to talk about is as if you are building your brand on LinkedIn, you want to know your personal values and visions, like I talked about before. Know your personal values and your vision, right? What do you want to see? Do you want people to see a data analyst, a project manager, and a product designer, right? And also recognize your vision. What do you want to achieve in the next 5 years? So give yourself, like we talk about smart goals, build goals, point out your goals. Next 1 year, I want to have achieved this. Next 2 years, I want to have achieved this. Next 2 years, I want to have achieved this, right? So as you are building your skills, you are also building your brand, because your brand is not going to speak to just your skills alone. It's going to speak to your values, your soft skills, and a lot of things, right? I wish I can speak more to that. And another thing is network and source for opportunities. On LinkedIn, you have to network and source for opportunities, like I talked about before. Network, meet people, connect. Tell yourself, I must connect with 20 people this week, 50 people this week. I must grow my network by 50 people this week. Source for opportunities. As a data analyst, as you're working on projects, you have to also look out for opportunities. Where's places you can intern, right? To build yourself, to build capacity. Another thing on LinkedIn that you want to do on LinkedIn is share value. Make posts. Talk about your first report. Share your reports. Share things that you're doing that are adding value to yourself and that can help other people, right? Another thing is stay consistent. You cannot come out today on LinkedIn and stop and say, I'm going to talk about another thing next month. No. If you're starting newly on LinkedIn, I'll suggest you post at least once every week. You should post at least once every week. You should post at least once every week. As if you are new on LinkedIn. So stay consistent. Show up on LinkedIn if you want to build a brand on LinkedIn. Apart from that, as a data analyst, show up, build reports. I'm sure that your course is going to cover Excel, how to clean data with Excel. You can also build a report on Excel. Talk about Power BI, a very great visualization tool. Another thing is MySQL, where you can work on databases, talk about database management, how you run different queries, learn about different queries. You might not go deep if you don't want to go into coding, right? But you can run queries, simple queries on that. You can talk about Tableau also, another great visualization tool that you can work with, right? So one thing I also want to say at this point is to find a niche, right? Find a niche. I don't want you to keep saying which one. No, find a niche. I want to do data analytics. I want to work on different dashboards, different reports. I want to be very good in Power Query. I want to be very good with Excel. I'm very good with Power BI. Find a niche for yourself. So as a, maybe you are, like somebody was asking before from the first speaker, maybe you studied any course. I mean, I studied French. I think I'm a living proof. Studied any kind of course. You studied Yoruba, studied any kind of thing, right? You can create a niche for yourself, build a brand around it. Somebody, I think I saw on LinkedIn one time a lady that was using Yoruba to teach data analytics. Yoruba. So you have to be creative, because everybody, if you start following people that are data analysts online, you would see different people on LinkedIn. So you have to now look for the one that speaks to yourself. What unique value are you bringing to the table as a data analyst? What difference are you going to be doing? Are you going to be sharing? Are you going to be working more on Excel? Are you going to be? So you have to look for also a way to portray yourself out there, because we have a lot of data analysts. A lot. What makes you stand out? What makes you different? Right? I think I'm tilting to personal branding and everything at the same time, right? So it's very important that you build a niche. Maybe like for me, for some time now, I've really focused on data analytics, but I'm also looking to write an exam and begin to put myself out there as a francophone. I want to begin to, speak French, begin to explore that aspect of myself that I really enjoy, and see how I can bring the two of them together. So you have to look for a way to bring them together. You have to look for a way to bring both brands together. And I want to say something. You don't have to kill one passion for another passion. Find a way to bring them together. I'm a francophone and I'm also a data analyst. Sometimes you might ask yourself, what's relating between the two of them? But I can decide to start creating content around speaking French and still work on data analytics reports. He doesn't speak less of me. In fact, it gives me an edge, because it means that I don't just have a data analytics skills. I'm also someone that they can take out, maybe serve as an ambassador, or maybe they are a representative for them in any French-speaking country. So whatever you think that maybe I started a course in the university that I'm not sure if I'm going to use it before later on, it can be a strength. It's going to be a strength for you on the long run. It's going to be a strength for you on the long run. So you don't have to kill one to have one thrive. Both of them can coexist fine, right? But make sure that you have a direction, not just that you are picking everything together and just picking everything together. Make sure that you have a direction. I think I'll be wrapping up here. I have something I want to speak on more, but I want to just leave that. Maybe I'll answer them during questions. I might talk about them during questions, right? So it's very important that you put yourself out there. It's very important that you're open-minded as you're learning. It's going to take time. For me, before I was confident enough to show out my reports, in fact, the first dashboard I created, the first report I created, I could not share it. I only sent it to some people, right? I did not share it out. I sent it to some people, and they're like, this is so nice. But I couldn't share it out because I was not confident in myself. And that's what I want you to do better. Don't keep to yourself and say, I'm not confident enough. Share it out. Get feedbacks. Get a mentor. Get feedbacks. You keep practicing. You are showing your growth, your journey as a data analyst. You are showing your growth journey. You are showing that you went from this part to this part to this part, and you got here, right? But don't get carried away. People that are out there already, that have built a name for themselves in data analytics. You are just coming in. So give yourself time, right? Like I said at some point, I made a post and I was talking about the fact that you shouldn't pressure yourself, right? It's very unfair to yourself to compare yourself with someone that has gone before you, that started before you, or had an advantage before you, right? So it's very important that you give yourself time to grow. It's a process. It's a journey. You are discovering yourself. and you can always be better. Nothing like I don't want to hear you say that everybody, I've done everything. What can I do again? What new am I going to bring? I can't bring anything new. The market is saturated. It's not saturated though. Okay, saturated in some points, but then it's not saturated though, because every business 2 years from now, next year, even now, will tell you, do you have a data analytics skill? Yes, I know that we're employing you to come and be an executive assistant, but do you have a data analytics skills? I know we're employing you to come and be a pharmacist. Do you have a data analytics skill? It's going to get there. So you're preparing yourself now. You're giving yourself that advantage. Right. And I will close with this while I take questions. A favorite book I love to read, my favorite book on earth, says, show me a diligent man. Show me a man diligent in his work. He will stand before kings and not just ordinary men. So if you want to stand out, you want to stand before kings, you want to stand out in your data analytics journey, you have to be diligent. You have to show up. You have to be committed. You have to be consistent. You have to make sure that you put in the work. It's not going to drop on your lap. You have to put in the work. You have to practice. Sleepless nights. There are nights where you will cry and be like, am I even sure I should be here? You have to encourage yourself. Tell yourself every time, I'm going to succeed in what I'm doing. I'm going to succeed in what I'm doing, right? And like I said before, you're not a failure. You're trying different parts, right? All right, so thank you very, very much. I think I'll wrap up here. Thank you very much. I want to take questions. I want to take questions. Are you there? Am I still connected? Is it just me or I can't hear you? I've been waiting. I'm trying to look at the questions. Can I? Is she there? Is it my network? Okay, she's here. Okay, she's here.
Okay, thank you very, very much, Ma, for that. Okay, there's a question here from Hamidat, and this person is asking if it's possible to drop the names of those websites you talked about.
Okay, so I would share that with you. I'll share that with Ioma after. She can remind me later. I would share that with her.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Then from
Thank you, Ma.
Chizoba, this person said, Ma, can you build two different brands on the same LinkedIn page?
Yes. So this is what I'm going to say to that. For me, if you are first thing I want to say at this point, I'm saying yes to this because it's possible, but I don't want you to lose yourself trying to portray yourself a a data analyst and also something. So look at ways to align both skills, right? Not necessarily um put them together, right? But look for a way to portray them as added advantage. Like they are looking, for example, let me use myself as an example. I'm a data analyst, I'm a francophone, and I also plan. I'm also in operations. So sometimes I talk about my operational duties. Sometimes I talk about French. Sometimes I talk about data analytics. Right. So that's even building more than two brands. But I don't lose myself to any one of them. Even though at some point one would have a louder voice more than the others. Do you understand? One will have a louder voice more than the others. So, but you can just pick them and look for a way to align them, that they are not clashing, right? They are not speaking opposite of what you are trying to make them talk about. Because sometimes you might think that, okay, I'm talking about analytics a lot, and when you bring in another skill that you can do, it's not aligning. Look for a way to put them in order. Look for a way to even infuse them. Look for a way to infuse them. You can begin to work on reports that aligns to that second brand you are trying to build. Maybe you want to build as a pharmacist. You can look for ways to, like the first speaker was talking about how is I can't remember that again, but talking about how he was able to infuse data analytics. So of course, you can decide to work on reports that relates to health, but look for a way to bring them together so that they are not contradicting and people don't confuse what you stand for. I think I've answered that question. I can see some
Okay, thank
questions
you
here
very
from.
much.
Okay.
Thank you very much,
Okay.
Cecilia. Thank you very much. So from Ojile Lovett, what is the best and recommended data analytical tool or software?
So we have different tools. We have Power BI, we have Tableau, we have Excel, Microsoft Excel, we also have MySQL, we have even some Python, because you can use analytics with Python, right? What I want to say is, don't look for the best and recommended tool. Equip yourself with everything. Upskill. Learn how to use all of them, because you might be required to use any one of them at some point. Imagine you're applying for an international role and they're like, okay, we don't want someone that can use we don't want someone, we also want someone that can use Tableau and Power BI. And be like, it's only Power BI I know how to use. No. So you have to learn how to use them and learn how to use them, master them well. But I wouldn't advise you to pick just one.
Okay, thank you, Ma. Vivian is asking if data analysis is a scope of Excel.
Statistics is a scope of Excel. Okay, so I'm trying to understand that question. If I understand that question right, you're asking if there are other things you can do with Excel. Of course, not just data analytics, not just visualization alone. Statistics, a lot of things you can do with Excel, not just data analytics alone. You can create different um you can create different metrics, you can create different um datas. I'm trying to look for the word. Yeah, you can create different kinds of metrics for your organization. Maybe you want to be able to track something as an HR, want to be able to track something as a doctor or something like that. You can use Excel to create such kind of on metrics. So if you are doing advanced data analytics, right? For example, and using Excel, you can do something that's called appending different documents together, bringing in different data together, putting out, trying to find something, trying to clean data, trying to structure a company's financial reports, different kind of things. You can do that on Excel without having to create a visualization, right? So that's also very possible. If I'm answering your question.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Joyce is saying, what is the difference between data science and data analytics?
Okay, the question that we always ask, that people would always ask us, right? A data scientist basically is, someone that does more of like coding, more of like numbers, right? More of like numbers. You're going to be doing the deep things, come up with I'm looking for the right word, statistics, data analytics, using different metrics, like maybe we're talking about regression analysis and all those kind of things. So deep diving into analysis. So a data analyst to use your data to make informed decisions. Sorry, to make informed decisions. Why a data analyst you would deep dive into your data, begin to talk about coding, right? And we talk about statistics, right? Analyze, gathering data, cleaning them also, because they still align, cleaning them, understanding their scope, skepticism of analysis, uncovering different solutions, and deep diving into the data. While a data analyst will just be talking about making informed business decisions, like gathering your data, maybe a company giving them data to work on, and giving them prescribing, diagnostic, um, descriptive, right? So they are both different. They're both different, and they still align also, because you can start as a data analyst and transition into the scientist part, talking about Python, talking about um, running codes, right, on different systems. Maybe you want to do, sometimes you want to do some sentimental analysis. You cannot begin to use Excel and those ones for that. You might need to start looking at scraping data online, and begin to do some statistics. Like me, I don't know. I'm not like I don't know. I don't work as a data scientist currently, right? But I have an idea of what they do, right? So sometimes they begin to scrape data. Some people even do that as even helping you work on your final project, right? Final year project, something like that. So they begin to talk about regressions and all. So those are data scientists, the deep dive codings and everything. While a data analyst just work on data, analyze clean data, to make informed business decisions. I don't know if I answered your questions correctly. I don't know if that's clear.
Thank you
I
so
wish I could
much,
see
Ma.
feedbacks to know.
Okay, there are lots of messages coming. Someone is even saying that she has learned a lot. There are a lot of questions, in fact. I'm definitely going to be compiling them and sending them to you for more answers, if you don't mind.
Okay.
But a lot of people have been dropping what they have learned so far, and it's mind blowing. Someone said that it's so educative. Someone said data is a new oil. Let's mine together. I'm sure they heard all those comments, they heard all those things from you. So the challenge is that we just have time constraints. If not, we would have taken all the questions. But because of our time, and because of the fact that we are trying to see how we can just work with time so that we don't stay here till 2 hours, we'll be wrapping this session up so that we can quickly run through the what the program is all about. There is a slide that I have that I'm going to be presenting. I'm just hoping that network doesn't disappoint us. But I just hope we've had a wonderful session with Titilayo today. I hope, if we have, can we just share our love to her, show her love, show her love. See, I don't know, but she said a
I'm
lot.
cheering you all and
That
rooting for you.
she said a lot. Like, it's not even just this things she said was not just for you all, but it was for me too. Like, because I was just learning a lot. There are a lot of things that let me just say, should I say, I did not know that, through what she was saying, I could learn. So I don't know what you have learned, but you can start keeping those comments. Yes, start showing the love. Thank you, Comfort Okon. Thank you, Blessing Barut. Thank you, Gold Victoria, for sending your love. Our guest has really done justice. I don't know how to, I don't know where to start from. There's just a lot. So please, one of the things I'm going to advise us all is that if it's possible for us to come back to this YouTube video, because it's it's recorded already. So you're not going to be asking me, oh, please, ma'am, can you send me the records? No. So please, if it's possible, come back to it. And I also want to use this means to also appeal to you all to subscribe. This was not in my mind from the beginning. That's even the reason why I couldn't say it. But I just realized that because of our number, we might be having issues with Google Meets, and we might also be having issues with Zoom. So we need YouTube, because sometimes network can be acting up on our Telegram channel, and we may not be able to have classes. So we just need to so I'm just using this means to appeal to each and every. We are like 103. So imagine 103 persons subscribing to this channel, so that I can, because at the moment I'm not even able to use my phone to go live on YouTube. I'm using a laptop, and for me to be able to use my phone, I would need at least more than 50 subscribers. So let's do all to subscribe. And Okay. Wow, I can't even. Wow. Oh my God. Okay, she has gone out. I really wanted us to like tell her thank you and also say good night to her. But despite it, there's one last part that we have, and I'm going to be running through it as fast as I can. So please just stay here. Just stay here. We're almost done in maybe in 7 minutes, because it's a slide that I'll be presenting. So please, I would want you all to let me project it. Can you still hear me? Okay, can you still hear me? Okay, can you see my slide? Can you see my slide? Okay. Okay, so I'll be presenting. If you can see my slide, let me know, please. Okay, you can see my slide. Yeah, so I'll quickly just run through so that you will know everything about this program. So you know what you are here for and you'll be able to understand better. Because if you don't know and understand what you are here for, you won't really be able to understand, you won't even know what you're supposed to do. So what I'm going to be doing now is I'll be sharing more about this program so that you can know more about the program. If you can still see my slide, please let me know. Can you still see my slide? Can you still see the slide? Is it bold now? Okay. Bold now. It's not. Can you see it now? Okay. So, first of all, what you need to know is that the organization that is in charge of this program is called Cyber Safe Foundation, and it is Africa's leading non-governmental organization, in that it provides the program is to improve inclusive and safe digital uptake in Africa, especially for the most vulnerable in our society. Now, the value is professionalism, excellence and creativity, passion, integrity and stewardship. I don't want to take so much time here. Now, another thing that you need to know is that we have someone who is the founder of Cyber Safe Foundation, and her name is Confidence Stavely. You can check her out on LinkedIn, just in case you don't know her, just in case you're not following her. She's Africa's most celebrated female cybersecurity leader, and she has even won Cyber Woman of the World. She's also the founder of Cyber Safe Foundation, and Cyber Safe Foundation runs two initiatives. We have Cyber Girls and Digi Girls initiative. So Cyber Girls initiative is basically an initiative for cybersecurity. If most of us if we've heard about cybersecurity, then the DigiGirls initiative is, of course, the one whereby we are learning digital skill. Now, another thing that you should know is that the reason for DigiGirls is to lower digital gender divide. Now, there's one thing that I've observed. I've realized that in the tech world, you realize that there are more male than female. You understand? That's the reason why. In fact, a lot of people were really angry as far. Why is this opportunity only for women? Well, this is the reason. The reason is so that they can be able to close the gap, the gap that is there. And even when they are tech skill, you find that women, until they qualify, they don't like coming out. I know how many men, how many guys applied for this scholarship, even after knowing fully well that it is only for women alone. So you can imagine. Now, aside from that, the goal is to improve the social economic well-being of girls and women between the ages of 15 to 45. I'm supposed to edit this. Now, there are a lot of different things. They have different locations, but those are not the places that we are going to major or delve into. Now, one of the things that you need to know is that this program is lasting for 12 months. So I am a Digi champion. I have been trained by the Digi girls. And there was this model. The model was that each Digi girls will, if they are willing, can train over 100 women, right, annually. So that's the reason why this training is happening. The training session is in batches. So I've been able to run two successful cohorts, and this is the last cohort. Right now, another thing that you should note is that laptop is very compulsory. It's not an option, like it's not optional. And this is because of the experience. You cannot do data analysis without a laptop. If you can use Excel on your phone, you cannot use SQL on your phone. There are a lot of statistical tool or data analytical tool that people were asking our speaker Titi Layo, if she can. You cannot use those tools with your phone. Are you getting what I'm saying? So this is the reason why you need to know that and aside from the pre-recorded video, we also have okay we also have live interactive sessions, which is the area or the part where I, like, this is the place where I play the role. Live interactive session, we have live classes. Now, the learning modules is cybersecurity awareness course, soft skill, and the intermediate digital skill. So what am I trying to say? We have already recorded courses, and we also have our classes. Do you understand? So after this orientation, I'll be dropping some documents on our Telegram platform. What you're expected to do is to go through those documents, because they are going to guide you. And then also, from Wednesday, you will get your first course, your first pre-recorded course. Then we are going to be starting our live classes next week. But one of the things that you have to know is that there will be another form at the end of the week. It's called assessment form. And that assessment form, I will be giving you assessment form every week for you to give feedback and give review of how far you have gone and what it's like for you. Now, another thing too that you need to know is that there is submission process. You have to submit. There is submission process and certificate. If you don't finish your capstone project, you will not be able to get your certificate. If you do not finish your capstone project, you will not be able to get your certificate. Now, your capstone project, once you submit your capstone project, normally it takes 2 weeks for it to be reviewed and then for you to be certified. Now, the certification we are talking about is not just cyber security, cyber safe foundation, but it's the one in affiliation with UK government. So this is not, you have come too far for you to now go back. Are you getting me? You have come too far for you to now go back. Now, also to note that we have a line of program which I would also try my best to share with you. A comprehensive list of all successful beneficiaries will be posted on the dedicated Telegram group for the program. And then what you have to know is that there is a structured timeline. The rules and regulation will be given to everyone. From tomorrow, rules and regulation will be given so that you'll be guided and you know what to do. Now, this training is a duration of 8 weeks, and today is day 1. That's what I want us to know. This training is a duration of 8 weeks, and today is day 1. Now, so that is, we've come to the end of it. I don't know if any of you have questions. You can ask me those questions if you do have questions. We'll just take few questions, and then when we take those few questions, we can call it a day. Just 5 minutes for questions. Okay, are you here?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I'm here.
Okay, are you here? Any question?
No question yet for you. No question. Okay. So somebody is asking, what are the training days in a week?
Okay, so how we do it is
Nobody's
that
asking.
we drop a, okay. Okay, so what you should know is that we have 2 training days in a week, 2 times, but that will be decided by you. Those particular days will be decided by you. Another thing too that you should know is that the day we will not have classes during the day. We only have classes during the evening period, and that will also be decided by you, because what I do most times is that once we start a cohort, I send a form. That form is more like the Google form that you filled when you were applying, but this time around you are doing some voting, kind of, picking what preference you want, and then at the end of the day we will now pick those that voted this. And then, like last cohort, what we did was there were days that we asked every participant to pick, but what happened was that at the end of the day, many people went for Thursdays and Fridays, and many people chose 7 p.m. to be their class, the time for class, and that was what we had to use. Even the platform, many people chose Telegram over Google Meets. So that is the thing. That's what you need to know. I hope I've answered this question.
Yes, yes, you have. So another person is still asking the time interval for the classes, but I feel like your answer has already covered for
Don't
this
justice to
particular
it.
question.
Yes. So for
Yes.
the time interval, like we said from the beginning of when you were applying from the form, the question was, are you willing to spare at least 5 hours every week? Now, the 5 hours every week, it's not like maybe in one day we would use 5 hours to teach. No, that's not what we do. For the time interval, let's say the average time that we spend in classes is 2 hours, right? So if you start 7 p.m., we would definitely be ending by 9 p.m. Do you get? So the only time that it can exceed is maybe if there was any need, maybe people are asking more questions, or we were trying to wrap up a particular topic. Do you get? So that's the only time that we can exceed 2 hours, right? So that's the time interval. We take at least 2 hours for each classes. So let's say 2 days to 2 hours each. That's a cumulative of what, 4 hours, right? So that's the time interval.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Emenike. That is all the question we have here for you. So if there be any other question, I think it's going to be communicated via our Telegram group. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much. Yes, and please let me do well to somebody asked me a question. Person was like, I thought that we were supposed to be 100, that we are supposed to be selected from the um this cohort. And I was like, oh yes, but we had to, expand for more. And the person was like, wow. Like, she now said she hopes that the team can track each and every one of us. And my answer was yes. And that's because we have capable persons, and one of them here is Oge. Oge is a social media manager. She's into everything that has to do with managing your social media. So if, for example, you are into any brand, or you're into any, what's it called, and you're looking for someone that is going to manage your brand effectively, Oge can deliver, right? And also too, she's going to be helping us. I'm definitely going to be introducing her on our Telegram platform. Now let me also add this, please. One of the things that you need to know is that Telegram, that's why one of the questions that was asked on your, while you were filling the form, is how conversant are you on Telegram? Even though we are going to be creating a WhatsApp group, that WhatsApp group won't be for one person. That WhatsApp group will be, different groups, right? The Telegram group is where all the documents and everything will be posted. So please, don't just stay and in a whole week you don't remember that Telegram exists. For the sake of this training, and for the sake of the fact that you want to what's it called, you want to finish this program, you want to finish what you started, do well to always check your Telegram, and that is going to make you successful. So with that, I think I've come to the end of we've come to today's section. We are very, very sorry for extending to this, more like 30 minutes, even though we said we are going to keep to 1 hour, 20 minutes. But you know what happened? Things happen. I hope you've enjoyed this session. I hope you've had a wonderful time. Thank you all for staying. Like, it's amazing that over 94 persons are still here, even after almost 2 hours. I am so, so happy. I'm wishing you guys the best. One of the things that I want people to know is that beyond what we are doing, don't limit yourself to what we are doing. Take it more serious. Take it more serious. And funny enough, I have returning students. If it's not okay, if this program was not nice, I don't think anybody will be returning, right? I'm talking about people that were certified, they came back. So please, take this training very serious. Dedicate at least, because everything we are going to be doing about teaching and all that will just be 6 weeks, and then the remaining 2 weeks is for you to finish up, do your capstone project and all that. And don't limit yourself. Don't limit yourself. I can't start saying what we have already heard from our guest speakers, right? You heard all they've said. So all you just need to do is just think about it and do well to keep up the spirit, right? So that's all that I'm going to be saying as we draw a close to today's session. Once more, I want to say thank you and congratulations to each and every one of you that is here. Just know that I am rooting for you. And I know you've learned a lot. I dropped a comment, or rather, I dropped a post, so you can do well to go on my LinkedIn channel, on my LinkedIn page. Go to the post, talk about those things that stood out for you, either from our first speaker or from our second speaker. And I will be in the comments replying you. Thank you all so much and have a good night rest. Bye.